वेरी गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक। आज मैग्नेटिक इफेक्ट्स का लास्ट जेई लेक्चर है, जेई लेक्चर नंबर 3। एंड लास्ट टाइम तक हमने फोर्स बिटवीन टू वायर्स एंड फोर्स ऑन अ सिंगल वायर इन अ मैग्नेटिक फील्ड वो सब किया था, सोलेनॉइड, टोरॉइड, साइक्लोट्रॉन वगैरह भी किया था। नाउ आई थिंक इट्स टाइम फॉर टॉर्क on a current carrying coil placed in a uniform magnetic field. Well, you know already the concepts. The basic idea is, suppose I have a current carrying conductor, I have a current carrying coil, actually a rectangular coil. Suppose this is the magnetic field that has been created. You know the magnetic field is always from north to south. This is the magnetic field that is created, and inside this, okay, not a very good conductor, very good diagram, but I think it will work. It needs to be workable, the prime idea behind anything. So this A, B, C, D is my rectangular current carrying conductor carrying current I through the entire loop. And what we saw was that on this wire AB, this section AB, it was like this. So this is IL bar, this is B bar. So IL bar cross B bar, it will go up. So the force on this wire is upwards, we'll call it F1, and force on this wire is downwards, we'll call it F1 dash. Now as you can see, these two forces F1 and F1 dash are equal and opposite, and they are also collinear, so they would cut each other. On the other hand, on wire AD, the force would be backwards like this, F2, and on force BC, on BC, it would be something like this, F2 dash. These are two equal and opposite forces. Now, if wire AB is like this, carrying current upwards, and magnetic field is like this, so IL bar cross B bar, it would be like this. F2 is towards me, and F2 dash is towards you. These are two equal and opposite forces. If I show you from the top, it is like this. Two equal and opposite forces separated by a finite distance. These constitute a couple, and a couple gives rise to torque. So, F2 and F2 dash, F1 and F1 dash are equal, opposite and collinear, so they cancel. F2 and F2 dash are equal and opposite but non-collinear. They give rise to a couple. They form a couple which gives rise to torque. And the equation for torque, we are leaving out the derivations. The equation for torque, which is our prime concern, is tau bar is Nia bar cross B bar. Wow, one lovely equation. Tau bar is Nia bar cross B bar. Here n is number of turns. I is the current. A bar is the area vector of the coil. B bar is the magnetic field. And the magnitude of this torque tau is Bina sine theta, wherein theta, I give utmost importance to this theta. People understand this. This sine theta is very important. If you are not going to pay attention to the sine theta, you might end up getting the wrong answer. So it is very important to understand कि coil किस तरह placed है, कहाँ placed है, what is the angle made by the area vector with the magnetic field, that is theta. So theta is the angle between the area vector, which is A bar, and magnetic field B bar. I'm sure you already know, I've said n number of times that suppose this is my coil and this is the plane of the coil, then the area vector will always be perpendicular to the plane of the coil. Alright, so if the coil is like this, the area vector would be like this. Alright, so this theta is the angle between area vector A bar and B bar. To take it a bit further, to take it a notch higher, we designate Nia bar as magnetic moment. So magnetic moment, we'll call it M bar, is Nia bar. So it is a very, very important equation also, magnetic moment, where M का direction है, the M has a bar. So the direction of M bar is along area vector. So you can say, if this is the current carrying coil and it's carrying current like this, move your hands like this will be the direction of the area vector, as simple as it gets, where M bar is along A bar, the direction of A bar, and the magnitude of M is simply Nia. And if you utilize this idea here, the torque becomes, so torque becomes tau bar is M bar cross B bar, or tau is MB sine theta. We are going to use this formula extensively in the next chapter, magnetostatics, but we have derived this formula here and we have looked at magnetic moment, so we'll be using it in further numericals. Now the utilization of this torque idea is in the moving coil galvanometer. The moving coil galvanometer is a device that detects and tends to measure small electric currents. Okay, so that is a device which detects and measures small electric currents, and it makes use of this idea, the torque on a current carrying coil. There is actually a current carrying coil inside the galvanometer, and current passes through that coil, and then it experiences torque, and a pointer is attached to that coil, and when the coil rotates, the pointer also rotates, and there is a scale and you can read on the scale. So this is the MCG, I call it, moving coil galvanometer, named after Luigi Galvani. All right. So now in here you have a different type of magnet here, poles. We have seen rectangular poles, but here we have cylindrical poles. Surprising. Why should you use cylindrical poles? You know the answer already. Cylindrical poles would give rise to a radial magnetic field. Now what is a radial magnetic field? This is south. I forgot to write south. Can you see? I'm sure you are looking at it. I'm only drawing a couple of arrows, not more. But the most important thing that you see here, this is your coil. This is your coil, and it is attached to this pointer. Okay, wire is wound on this coil, and current will be carried by this coil, and this is your scale. And it has got readings on it, markings actually. All right, so the first thing, using cylindrical poles of the bar magnet would give you a radial magnetic field. So even if the coil rotates like this or like this or like this, there will always be one component which will be perpendicular to that coil. So the area, the sine theta, the theta between the area vector and the magnetic field will always be 90. So using cylindrical poles, gives us a radial magnetic field. That is, the angle theta is going to be always 90. People, understand this. Theta is always going to be 90. You don't need to worry about that. Now, what happens is that current passes through the coil. Current passes, there is a torque, and this torque rotates the coil, and along with the coil, the pointer also gets deflected. Now, if the current in the coil is I, the torque on the coil, which is carrying current, is, we'll call it tau coil, is beta sine theta. And remember, theta is always 90. So this beta sine 90, or tau coil is beta. Okay, this is it. Now, understand this. Supposedly, the coil has rotated like this. The deflection of the pointer is here. And suddenly the current gets cut off. Somebody pushes off the switch. There is nothing which can bring the pointer back. So, it is stuck midway. You need to provide something which can bring the pointer back, which can bring the coil back to the original position. For that, you use a spring below the coil. So, whenever there is a torque which is rotating the coil due to the current, the spring will now get ready for a counter torque. And the moment this torque becomes zero, the counter torque acts and brings the coil back to the original position. So, the counter torque, or we call it the restoring torque in the spring, we call it tau restoring, is K phi. Essential to know the ingredients. Phi is the deflection of the pointer, and this is in radian, of course. And K is the torsional constant of the spring. You can also call it a spring constant or twist constant. Torsional constant or twist constant of the spring. And I'm going to give you the SI unit also. SI unit of K is Newton meter per radian. So torque will be in Newton meter and phi is in radian. So Newton meter per radian. If in numericals you are given the deflection in terms of degree, you need to first convert it into radian, then you need to proceed. And now, what happens is that in equilibrium, the torque on the coil is equal to the restoring torque that is produced in the spring. So in equilibrium, tau coil is equal to tau restoring. And that gives me one of the most important equations of this idea. Beta is K phi. Whenever in doubt, use beta is K phi. So you also can move forward. I is K by band into phi. Now K, B, A, N are all constant. So I is proportional to phi. So the principle of a moving coil galvanometer is that the amount of deflection is directly proportional to the amount of current flowing through the coil. If the deflection is more, that means the current is more, and vice versa. Okay, so this was the entire idea of the galvanometer. Before I move on, I need to tell you galvanometer can be used in two ways. Okay, if you want to use it as a current measuring device, it is called an ammeter. If you want to use it as a potential difference measuring device, it will be called a voltmeter. So let's check both of them out. Let's first find out how it is used as an ammeter. We've seen this theory in the board classes, in the regular lectures. I'm just going through this just as a brush up. So the first idea is the ammeter. So a moving coil galvanometer that measures current, an MCG that measures current, is an ammeter. Remember, ammeter will always be connected in series. Ammeter is always connected in series with the circuit, so that current passes through it. Is always connected in series with the circuit. Thirdly, now since it is connected in series and current is passing through it, so its resistance will affect the current flowing through the device. So what you need to do, what should be the ideal resistance of the ammeter? 0. So that the current is not affected. The total resistance of the circuit does not change. So the ideal resistance of the ammeter should be 0. Can you see this? And finally, but nothing is ideal in life. Everything is, not ideal. So what should you do to make this resistance as less as possible? But practically resistance is not zero. Resistance of the gal is not zero. So what do? We connect a low value resistor in parallel, low value resistance in parallel with the galvanometer, which is called shunt. SHUNT. So what is a shunt? It is a low value resistor which is in parallel with the galvanometer, and that is called shunt. The equation for shunt is as follows. Equation for shunt is, we'll call it S. S is equal to RGIG over I minus IG. You want to call it RS, I don't mind, but there are two RSs, so we are going to call series resistance RS in the voltmeter, so I might as well call it S. Here RG is the resistance of the gal. IG, now a gal is a super sensitive device. The galvanometer is a super sensitive device. It cannot handle more current passing through it. नहीं तो क्या हो जाएगा? If you allow more current to pass through it, the torque will be so large, tongue, it will be like this. And then come what may, it will not come back. आप चाहे जो भी कर लो, it will not come back, even if you cut off the current. So spring handle ही नहीं कर पाएगी इतना. So you need to be really careful while passing current through that. So you need to first find out what is the maximum current that can pass through the gal. And when I say gal, I don't mean anything, I mean a galvanometer. Please be very sure. Alright. Now we never called it a galvanometer. If there were three words and if one could suffice, we would use one. So I don't call it a galvanometer. I call it a gal, but I mean galvanometer. Alright. So don't be hesitated. Don't be hassled. I is the current that is to be measured. Well, technically, we are connecting the shunt due to the fact that the gal cannot handle more current. If more current would pass through it, as I told you, it would get stuck, it would get damaged. So you want shunt to bear the maximum current. आ जाओ, मुझे दे दो. गैल्वेनोमीटर में से ज्यादा पास मत कराओ, मुझे दे दो. वो सारा गैल्वेनोमीटर का करंट अपने में ले लेता है. तो वेरी वेरी इफेक्टिव डिवाइस दिस शंट. एंड इसी तरीके से ज्यादा करंट मेजर भी कर सकते हैं. सो दो काम हो रहे हैं एक साथ. गैल्वेनोमीटर बच भी रहा है एंड ज्यादा करंट मेजर भी हो रहा है. एंड दैट इज द प्राइम रीजन वी यूज शंट. S is equal to RGIG over I minus IG. And since shunt and the gal are in parallel, so the equivalent resistance. Now, let me just draw a final diagram. This is the gal. ये उसका resistance RG. और उसके parallel में I have connected the shunt. And this is encased inside the device. Okay. आपके स्कूल में जो गैल्वानोमीटर देखते हैं आप, उसमें पूरा ये encased है. You don't get to see it. You just get to see the scale and stuff like that. All this is inside that box, alright, the black colored contraption. So as S and RG both are in parallel, so equivalent resistance. Now for two parallel resistors, what is the equivalent resistance? RG dash will be RG into S over RG plus S. I have simply used the formula for equivalent resistance of two resistors in parallel. So RG into S over RG plus S. There is an important term that I need you to look. It's called current sensitivity. Now everybody very well knows that B now is K phi or K phi is B now. Now when I divide phi by the amount of current flowing through the device, I get the term which is called current sensitivity. So current sensitivity is phi by I. If I take I here, I take K there, it is band by K. So this is equation number 2. Current sensitivity is the deflection per unit current, that is VAN by K. So this was all about the ammeter. Let's look at the voltmeter and end the story. Alright, so a device that measures current is called an ammeter. Then a device that measures potential difference between any 2 points in the circuit would be called a voltmeter. So let's get going. Voltmeter. So what is a voltmeter? A moving coil galvanometer that measures potential difference between any 2 points is called a voltmeter. So moving coil galvanometer that measures PD, potential difference between any 2 points in a circuit, is a voltmeter. Now since it is supposed to measure potential difference between any 2 points, it has to be connected in parallel between the 2 points. A voltmeter is connected in parallel between the 2 points. The ideal resistance of voltmeter has to be infinite. Remember this. You know, if something is connected in series and you don't want it to affect your current, then its ideal resistance has to be 0. But if something is connected in parallel and you don't want it to affect the total resistance, then its resistance better be infinity. Because suppose you have 10 ohm and in parallel to it you have infinity. Then 1 by 10 plus 1 by infinity is 1 by R. 1 by infinity is 0. Your resistance remains the same. Alright? The ideal resistance of the voltmeter is infinite. But you know, ideally there is nothing ideal. So in practicality, in practice, the resistance is not infinite. So what do? We connect a high value resistor in series, with the galvanometer, and which is called series resistance. So as I said, the resistance of the voltmeter has to be infinite, but it is not infinite. So what do? We connect a high value resistor in series with the galvanometer and we call it series resistance. So keyword here is high value resistor in series, and that is called series resistance. I got an equation for RS, series resistance. Equation for series resistance is one simple equation, makes the bill. RS is V by Ig minus Rg. Now it would look odd if I would write this as Rs and that is chota rs. So I put S there, I put Rs here. And the terms are self-explanatory. Ig is the max current that can pass through the galvanometer. Rg is the resistance of the galvanometer. So V here is the potential difference that is to be measured. Alright, so this is the idea. V is the potential difference that is to be measured. Now, let me show you the diagram. So this is the gal, its resistance Rg, and in series with that, you have put big resistance Rs, and this is inside that box. You never come to know what is there inside the box, because you're not going to look inside the box. But the moment you open the box, you see the galvanometer is connected in series with Rs and you are happy. So what will be the equivalent resistance of this circuit? The equivalent resistance, as you can see, both are in series. So equivalent resistance of the galvanometer we'll again call it Rg dash. What is the equivalent resistance for 2 in series? It will be Rg plus Rs. Okay, and there is a term also, as we had current sensitivity in the last topic, we have voltage sensitivity here. We will call it Vs. Now we had phi by I is bound by K. Now voltage sensitivity is phi by V. Now how do we get V? I'm sure you know by Ohm's law, V can be written as IR, but I already have phi by I here. So my voltage sensitivity final equation, which is phi by V, is bound by KR. So phi by I was bound by K and phi by V is bound by KR. I think the stuff ends here. And let's now do some numericals and find out what exactly, how do we use this idea. Look at it. And I'm back. I'm back with the sums. The sums I'm doing, they are from the master resource book, Arihant's master resource book in physics by D.B. Singh. And it's a very lovely book. I'm sure you use it sometimes, and contains quite some number of good sums which you can practice. And you know, the most important thing in JEE or NEET is practice. You need practice. You need to do things. You need to understand the numericals in such a way that you can start performing them. You can start doing them with the minimum amount of reaction time. So you need to practice more sums so you get the habit, you get used to that. You get the hang of the idea. Okay, I am going to do SP16 now. I've got it out here. What is SP16? It says an MCG, a moving coil galvanometer, is 100 turns. So N is 100 turns. And the area is 2 centimeters square. The first thing I do is convert 2 into 10 raised to minus 4 meters square. The magnetic field is 0.01 Tesla. And the deflection, you remember we used to call it phi, is 0.05 radian. Rest assured, given in radian, no problem. अगर डिग्री में होता तो convert करना पड़ता. Current is, they say when the current is 10 milliamp, what is the torsional constant of the spring? Easy peasy, jackpot easy. So, for a moving coil galvanometer, for an MCG, if you write a moving coil galvanometer, I have to write A for a moving coil galvanometer. But if I'm going to write M, so it's like for an MCG. So, beta, I hope you remember, was equal to K phi. So, K is beta by phi, and the only thing remaining is to put the values and get out of here. B 0.01, that's 10 raised to minus 2. Current is 10 milli, so 10 into 10 raised to minus 3. Number of turns 100, that's 10 raised to 2. Area 2 into 10 raised to minus 4. And what is phi? 0.05, that's 5 into 10 raised to minus 2. So be my guest, start ticking off, tuck, tuck. This is 10 raised to minus 2 and this is 10 raised to 2. So I'll Joe again. Wow. And this is 2 by 5, that's 0.4 into 10 raised to minus 4. Might as well represent it nicely. So K is 5. 4 into 10 raised to minus 5 Newton meter per radian. I'm sure someone somewhere around the globe, somewhere looking at this, is surely going to check the answer, and the answer is correct. So we got it. This is SP16. Then we have example number 9. Now example number 9 is a blast from the past. I'm sure people who know me know its meaning. Blast from the past means something that involves things done earlier, in earlier chapters or in earlier standards. So we are going to look at this. They have given me a diagram and they say this is an inclined plane, angle is theta, and there is this sphere. I'll read the sum, no doubt, and there is a wire which is wound on this sphere, okay, and they've told me that the magnetic field is down here somewhere. Now what do they say? They say a coil of a single turn, N is 1 turn, is wound on a sphere of mass m. This is a sphere of mass m and radius r. The sphere's radius is r. The sphere is mass m, don't forget that. The plane of the coil is parallel to the inclined plane. Wow. So अगर inclined plane ऐसा है तो तुम्हारा coil भी ऐसा ही है, बराबर? Plane of the coil is parallel to the inclined plane and lies in the equatorial plane of the sphere. This is the sphere, this is the equator, so it is like this. So if you don't understand, let me draw that for you. दिस इज अ गोला स्फीयर है एंड ये इंक्लाइन प्लेन है. You have wound your turn like this, single turn. All right. So this turn is parallel to the inclined plane, and this turn is lying wound on the equatorial plane of the sphere. So what else do they want? If the sphere is in rotational equilibrium, find the value of B. Okie dokie. But first things first, I love this diagram. Whenever an inclined plane comes, I get ecstatic. ये body है mass m. एंड मास एम है तो भाई वो कितना होगा वो बोले तो व्हाट इज वो वेट आई फॉरगॉट व्हाट वाज वो एंड वेट इज mg. आई होप यू रिमेंबर द पर्टिकुलर्स. दिस इज mg cos theta. लॉन्ग टाइम बैक है एंशिएंट हिस्ट्री. एंड दिस वुड बी mg sin theta. Now they tell me that this coil is in rotational equilibrium. Sphere is in rotational equilibrium. Well, a sphere can be in rotational equilibrium if the torque on the sphere पे torque किस वजह से है? दो चीजों की वजह से. First, due to weight, and second, due to that current carrying coil. Mind well. So अगर दोनों torque equal और opposite हो जाते हैं, only then the sphere can be in equilibrium, rotational equilibrium. So for sphere to be in rotational equilibrium, the torque due to the weight has to be equal and opposite to the torque due to the current and the magnetic field. Alright, but do you know the torque due to weight? Torque is what? Force into distance. So what is the force? mg sin theta. So mg sin theta. And how much is the radius? It is r. And what is the torque due to current? I hope you remember tau bar is m bar cross b bar, which is mb sin theta again. Oh wow. But before I forget, this m is mass and this m is that magnetic moment. So let's not write mb. I would prefer writing b na. b na is good. So b na current कितना है? Current कितना flow हो रहा है? कुछ हो रहा है? Carrying current I होगा, of course, So b I n a sin theta. At the first hint of trouble, sin theta goes away. Wow. So, what do we have? mgr, mg Ramachandran. IB, n is 1, people, n is 1, single turn. IBA. You need magnetic field, right? Yeah, you need magnetic field. So, B is नीचे उतर गया. B यहीं रह गया. IA नीचे उतर गया. By IA. Do they want the area also? Maybe. अगर कोई सर्कल है रेडियस r का तो उसका एरिया कितना होगा? पाई r स्क्वायर. सो mgr by I pi r square. 1 r goes away and you are finally left with B is equal to mg over I pi r. Might as well check, and that is the correct answer. Very well. Let's move over. And I think we'll go to number round 1. We'll go to round 1. And round 1 का कौन सा नंबर देखने का है बाबा? कुछ और सम्स भी ले रहा हूँ जो मुझे अच्छे लग रहे हैं एंड थोड़े टेढ़े लग रहे हैं, उनको भी लिया है मैंने. सो स्टे विथ मी. राउंड 1 का नंबर है 18 एंड दिस इज वन टेढ़ा सम फॉर श्योर. एंड डायग्राम देख के ही ऐसा लग रहा है कि अरे बाप रे ये तो लफड़े वाला काम है. ओके, this is Q, this is P and this is R. This is the diagram. Diagram में थोड़ा सा झोल भी है. इधर करंट है ना, उल्टा दिखा है. So current is like this and here it is like this. आ रहा है जा रहा है and this angle is whole theta. And यहाँ पे एक point है. They are calling it O. And this much distance is how much R. Okay. Maybe they've written this thing in the textbook, maybe they have not, I don't know. So two wires PQ and QR are carrying equal current psi. One end of both wires extends to infinity. Oh, इसका मतलब ये है P यहाँ नहीं है, infinity पे. R भी यहाँ नहीं है, infinity पे. I'm making changes in the diagram as I am looking at the diagram because ये changes से ही अपने को final idea मिलेगा. और क्या है? Angle PQR is theta. Okay, they've told me. Magnitude of the magnetic field at O which is on the bisector. So it is dividing exactly into two halves. So let me call this theta by 2. This would also be theta by 2. Okay, theta by 2, the whole becoming theta. At the bisector of these two bars, the distance r from point Q is okay. तो यही करते हैं. अच्छा भाई, कुछ भी करंट से पहले कोई भी वायर होता था एंड ये पॉइंट होता था P. This used to be y, if you remember. So what are the perpendicular distance? ये पता होने के बाद ही हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. And you remember V is mu naught I by 4 pi y sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2. पर अकेला फॉर्मूला आ जाने से कुछ नहीं होना है. ये थीटा 1 ये था और थीटा 2 ये था. एंड अगर ये नहीं है तो ये mu naught I by 4 pi y cos alpha 1 plus cos alpha 2. तो ये आपका अल्फा 1 है, ये आपका अल्फा 2 है. मैं डायग्राम खास इसलिए बना रहा हूं बिकॉज आई वांट यू टू रिलेट विद दिस. ओके, तो मैं इसको पहले तो परपेंडिकुलर डिस्टेंस जेंटलमैन एंड लेडीज ऑफ कोर्स, ये इसको मैं नाम देता हूं y. ओके, एंड बिफोर आई डू एनीथिंग, let me call this Q, O, let me call this S. I'm just calling this point S because I need to find y in terms of theta by 2 and r. Let me take off this theta by 2 for a minute. So in triangle, let me take off this theta also. In triangle OQS, ये theta by 2 को y के साथ और r के साथ रिलेट करना है. कैसे करोगे? I think sin will work out. Sin theta by 2 is opposite over hypotenuse. So sin theta by 2, opposite कितना है? OS over hypotenuse कितना है? OQ. That is y by r. So my y is r sin theta by 2. Now I am assured. y मिल जाने से बहुत सारे रास्ते खुल जाएंगे. अच्छा, ये डायग्राम इसके जैसा ही है. ये वाला इंफिनिटी को जा रहा है, पर एज यू कैन सी मेरे पास ये और ये नहीं एंगल, ये एंगल है नहीं, ये एंगल है. सो इन शॉर्ट आई गॉट अल्फा 2. तो अच्छा, ये एंगल धीरे धीरे बढ़ते बढ़ते 90 हो जाएगा. तो वो एंगल कितना होगा जो P के साथ ये बनाएगा? 0. सो फॉर PQ alpha 1 is 0 degree and alpha 2 is theta by 2. I hope you understand. जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल ये पॉइंट यहां होता, ये P यहां होता, तो दिस वुड हैव बीन समथिंग, एंड एज इट वेंट ऑन एक्सटेंडिंग ये बढ़ता गया, इंफिनिटी पे जाके ये 90 हो गया, ये 90 हो गया, ये 90 है, तो वो कितना होगा? बट ऑफ कोर्स 0. दोनों लाइन पैरेलल हो जाएगी ना, तो दैट इज व्हाई आई रिटन 0. नाउ B1, let's take the show there. Now I'm going to take this diagram off, I don't need it. B1 mu naught I by 4 pi y cos alpha 1. इस बार cos है जेंटलमैन एंड लेडीज, बराबर. अल्फा 1 को लगा डाला 0, अल्फा 2 को लगा डालूंगा थीटा बाय 2. अच्छा, y को भी लगे तो लगा ही दो ना सर. ओके, नो प्रॉब्लम. y r sin थीटा बाय 2 and this is 1 plus cos पूरा है थीटा बाय 2. अच्छा भाई, डायरेक्शन तो देखा नहीं, ऐसे कैसे छोड़ देंगे? करंट ऐसा आ रहा है ना, पॉइंट अगर इधर होता तो अंदर जा रहा होता, पर पॉइंट यहां है तो इट इज कमिंग आउट. सो B1 is coming outside. Okay, this is my B1. And if you go to look at it, अगर आपको दिखाई दे रहा है सही से, तो B2 का भी फंडा वही होगा, ये भी y ही होगा, ये भी आ रहा है, ये भी थीटा बाय 2 ही है, सो सेम ही है. एंड ये भी बाहर ही आ रहा है, उसका cos alpha 1 थीटा बाय 2 है, cos alpha 2 0 है, so alpha 1 is theta by 2, alpha 2 is 0. We will end up precisely with the same formula. P2 mu naught I by 4 pi y cos alpha 1 plus cos alpha 2. So मैं लगा देता हूं mu naught I by 4 pi r sin theta by 2. To cut a long story short, ये भी 1 cos alpha 1 कितना है? theta by 2 plus 0. Cos 0 is 1. So this will become 1 plus cos theta by 2. Direction will be everything. भाई किस तरफ है? ये ऐसा जा रहा है. Oh wow, this is also coming out. So coming out. And the net, दोनों ही बाहर आ रहे हैं, तो डुअली दोनों ऐड हो जाएंगे. So net field at O, B is V1 plus V2. भाई V1 और V2 दोनों सेम ही है. So can I write it is twice V1, which is twice mu naught I by 4 pi r sin theta by 2 over 1 plus cos theta by 2. 2 2s are 4. तो मेरा फाइनल आंसर आ गया है mu naught I by 2 pi r ऊपर 1 plus cos theta by 2. ये 2 बहुत ही गंदा हो जाता है कभी कभी. Over sin theta by 2. And the moment I check it, I get an eruption of joy क्योंकि आंसर सही है. एंड इतना खतरनाक आइटम को हमने एक एक चीज को हैंडल करते हुए पूरा काम तमाम कर दिया. जस्ट हैव अ लुक एट इट बिफोर आई टेक इट ऑफ. नेक्स्ट वाला सम आ रिया है. कुछ एमीटर वोल्ट मीटर के भी सम करो सर. कर रहा हूं भाई साहब. मेनू में सब कुछ है, सब कुछ है मेनू में. सूप है, स्टार्टर है, पनीर चिली है, मंचूरियन है, स्प्रिंग रोल भी. खाने का टाइम हो रहा है, भूख लग रही. सो काम खत्म करते हैं, फिर खाना वाना खाते हैं जी. अच्छा, राउंड 1 का 44 आ रही है. क्या कहता है? MCG gives full scale deflection for 0.005 ampere. Full scale deflection का मतलब है this is the maximum current that can pass through the gal. So this is no doubt it is IG 0.005 ampere, and it is converted into a voltmeter reading up to 5 volt. So voltmeter will read up to 5 volt, and by using external resistor, RS दिया हुआ है. RS is 975 ohm. What is the resistance of the gal? Okie dokie, they want the resistance of the gal. No problemo. ऐसा शायद फॉर्मूला आपको याद है तो लोड ही कोई नहीं है. We know for a voltmeter RS is V by IG minus RG. तो ये RG को इत्थों ले आए. V by IG minus RS. सब कुछ रेडी है. V कितना है? 5 वोल्ट. And IG 0.005. So can I write as 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 if it is not too much of a problem. And ये कटा, ये 10 raised to minus 3 ऊपर चढ़ा and becomes 10 raised to 3 मतलब 1000 minus 975. भाई 25 ओम आंसर है मेरा. आपका क्या है श्रीमान? 25 ही है. होगा ही 25. कोई और ऑप्शन नहीं है. यस, 25 इज द राइट आंसर. आगे बढ़ जाएंगे. 45. अभी वही सेम जॉनर के सम शुरू हो गए. 45 क्या कहता है मुझसे? भाई हर सम कुछ कहता है. कुछ लोगों में बस वो पेशेंस नहीं होती सुनने की. सो आई हैव ऑलवेज मेंटेन, मैं हमेशा बच्चों को यही कहता हूं कि सोल्यूशन से प्यार मत करो. प्यार करना ही है, अटेंशन देना ही है, तो सम को दो, न्यूमेरिकल को दो, प्रॉब्लम को दो. बिकॉज अगर वो आपके साथ सही नहीं होगा तो सोल्यूशन तो कैसे आएगा? देयर इज नो चांस दैट यू कैन गेट द सोल्यूशन. सो बिफोर यू इवन स्टार्ट राइटिंग द सोल्यूशन और पुटिंग वैल्यूज, फर्स्ट थिंक ओवर कि क्या सम समझ में आ गया है. अगर आ गया है तो ही आगे बढ़ा जाए, नहीं तो सबसे पहले थोड़ा टाइम इन्वेस्ट करके 2-3 बार सम पढ़ो क्या कह रहा है वो तुमसे. सो 45 ये कह रहा है मुझसे कि अ मूविंग कॉइल गैल्वेनोमीटर A and a voltmeter V and a resistance R are connected as shown. अच्छा डायग्राम दिया है. ओके, लेट मी ड्रॉ. ये एमीटर है, ये रेजिस्टेंस R है, और वोल्टमीटर का. भाई गलती से गलत मत बना देना ये. भाई आपके उसमें तो डायग्राम होगा, मेरे को बनाना पड़ेगा. ओके, ये सीन है. ओके, करंट ऐसा जा रहा है. ओके, वोल्टमीटर रीड्स 20 वोल्ट. वोल्टमीटर का रीडिंग 20 वोल्ट है, एंड एमीटर का रीडिंग आ गया 4 एम्पियर. एंड दे वांट यू टू फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ आर. ओके, मतलब लेट अस कॉल दिस पॉइंट P, लेट अस कॉल दिस पॉइंट Q. एक बात समझो आप, 4 एम्पियर जंक्शन P पे आ रहा है. डू यू अग्री? थोड़ा इधर जाएगा, थोड़ा इधर जाएगा. सो इसमें जो भी ये रेजिस्टेंस R में जो भी करंट जा रहा है, सो current through R is less than 4 एम्पियर। पहली बात, 4 का 4 पूरा नहीं जा सकता, थोड़ा वोल्ट मीटर में भी जाएगा, तो रेजिस्टर करंट थ्रू आर हैज टू बी लेस देन 4 एम्पियर। बट फिर भी ये 20 बता रहा है, ध्यान से, वोल्ट मीटर इज शोइंग 20 वोल्ट, मतलब इसके अक्रॉस पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस 20 वोल्ट है। 20 वोल्ट होने के लिए सपोज करंट इज 3 एम्पियर, लेट अस से 3 एम्पियर, एक वैल्यू पकड़ रहा हूं, लेस देन 4 है तो मैं 3 पकड़ रहा हूं। 3 होता एंड दिस वुड बी 20। डू यू अग्री द रेजिस्टेंस, उन्होंने मेरे को रेजिस्टेंस का ऑप्शन दिया है, इज इट इक्वल टू 5 ओम, लेसर देन 5 ओम, ग्रेटर देन 5 ओम, या कांट से व्हाटएवर। अगर ये यहां 3 होता और पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस 20 होता, व्हाट वुड यू से द रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ आर इज? Isn't it 20 is 3 into R? So R is what? 20 by 3, 6.66. So isn't it greater than 5? अच्छा, कोई भी हाल में 3.99 भी होता सपोज, तो भी रेजिस्टेंस 5 से ज्यादा ही होना जरूरी है। 5 भी नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि अगर 5 होगा तो एग्जैक्ट 4 एम्पियर शुड पास, तो ही 20 वोल्ट होगा। इसका मतलब है इस वोल्ट मीटर में कोई करंट ही पास नहीं हो रहा, नहीं, थोड़ा इसमें जाएगा I1, थोड़ा इसमें जाएगा I2, so I1 is always less than 4 ampere, and as a result, so for PD across R to be 20 volt exact, the resistance has to be more than 5 ohm. It cannot also be equal to 5 ohm. No, as I said, equal to 5 ohm होगा तो exactly 4 ampere should pass for the potential difference to be 20. And 4 ampere total cannot pass because this is a junction. Junction पे current divide होगा ही. So इसमें pass होने वाला current has to be absolutely less than 4 ampere. तभी जा करके अगर आपका R more than 5 ohm हो तो ही potential difference can be 20, not otherwise. So the resistance R has to be more than, has to be greater than 5 ohm. I am looking at a similar question like this, same to same diagram का फंडा है, बस थोड़ा सा चेंज किया उन्होंने। Let me tell you the number, आप पहचानोगे इसको, अच्छा इस तरह ही बात कर रही है, क्योंकि मैंने इस तरह बात किया तभी जाके ये वर्कआउट हो रहा है। आई एम लुकिंग एट नंबर 49, एग्जैक्टली वैसे कुछ, बट थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस है। डिफरेंस क्या है कि a candidate connects a moving coil voltmeter V and ammeter A and resistance R, डायग्राम कुछ ऐसा ही, बस थोड़ा सा फर्क, ये R है एंड ये वोल्टमीटर भी है। I am raring to go. Voltmeter reads 10 volt and ammeter reads 2 amp. Yeah, 2 amp. Then they have asked me to find what would be the value of R. R diya galla. Bhai, I'm sure you are looking at this. कुछ माइंड में आ रहा है किस तरह होगा? नहीं? ओके। सबसे पहली बात, डू यू अग्री ये 10 वोल्ट जो पीडी है वो इन दोनों के बीच का है, मतलब यहां पे इस ब्रांच में टोटल रेजिस्टेंस कितना होगा? R प्लस आर जी। सो R प्लस आर जी का टोटल 10 वोल्ट है, बराबर, एंड दे से 2 एम्पियर इज पासिंग थ्रू दिस। सो total PdV is I into resistance total, and what is your resistance total? R plus Rg। भाई पोटेंशियल डिफरेंस कितना है? 10, करंट कितना है? 2 पता चल गया, 2 एम्पियर ही फ्लो हो रहा है। सो R प्लस Rg टोटल मिला के 5 ओम है। सो इट इज एनीबॉडीज गेस नाउ, क्या R, जो 4 ऑप्शन फिर से वही है, इज इट ग्रेटर देन 5 ओम, लेसर देन 5 ओम, इक्वल टू 5 ओम, या कांट से? Can it be equal to 5 ohm? No sir, because अगर equal to 5 ohm होगा इसका मतलब Rg is 0, which is not possible. Rg का कुछ तो वैल्यू होगा, so it cannot be equal to 5 ohm. Is it greater than 5 ohm? No, it is not, because इन दोनों का टोटल 5 है, तो कोई भी 5 से तो बड़ा हो ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि R बड़ा होगा 5 से, इसका मतलब Rg माइनस में, which is not possible. So from this equation we see thus value of R कोई भी हाल में has to be लेस देन 5 ओम। ये सपोज 3 ओम होगा, ये 2 ओम होगा तो वर्कआउट होता है 5 ओम। ये 4 ओम है, ये 1 ओम है, 4 प्लस 1 5 ओम। तो ये 5 प्लस 0 नहीं हो सकता, बिकॉज देन इट विल बी आइडियल। तो ये आइडियल तो है नहीं, कुछ ना कुछ रेजिस्टेंस होगी। सो दिस आर हैज टू बी लेस देन 5 ओम फॉर दिस आइडिया टू वर्क आउट। डू यू अंडरस्टैंड दैट? ओके, लेट्स गेट बैक टू बिजनेस। अब जो बीच में एक आध रह गया था उसको उठा लेते, एंड वो कौन सा रह गया था, आओ देखें, आओ राजा। नंबर केड़ा? नंबर 48। ओके सर, 48 क्या कहता है मुझसे? अ माइक्रो एमीटर हैज अ रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ 100 ओम। ओके, आरजी 100 ओम एंड full scale deflection of 50 microampere. Okay, IG is 50 micro. What else? It can be converted into a voltmeter or ammeter by providing resistance. Okay, pick the correct answer. Oh तेरी, अच्छा मेरे को चारों ऑप्शन चेक करने पड़ेंगे तब जाके वर्कआउट होगा। अच्छा, पहला है 50 वोल्ट रेंज, वोल्ट मीटर ऑफ 50 वोल्ट रेंज विथ 10 किलो ओम इन सीरीज। तो उन्होंने यहां पे मेरे को वोल्टेज दिया हुआ है, हियर वोल्टेज इज 50 वोल्ट। लेट अस फाइंड आरएस। फिर अगर ये आरएस वर्कआउट होता है तो सही बात है। यू नो आरएस is V by IG minus RG. Let's rock and roll. 50 by what is IG? 50 माइक्रो माइनस RG कितना है? 100। 50 50 कट, दिस इज 10 raised to 6 गॉन अप। भाई 10 raised to 6 is 10 लाख। 10 लाख माइनस 100 रुपए doesn't make any फर्क। So this is 10 raised to 6 ओम। किलो ओम में कन्वर्ट करूं तो 1000 किलो ओम इन सीरीज। तो पहली बात, क्या 1000 किलो ओम लिखा है? नहीं, 10 किलो ओम लिखा है, तो पहला ऑप्शन गलत है। ओके, अब दूसरा चेक करते हैं। दूसरा है 10 वोल्ट, बी, बी फॉर ब्लू, बी 10 वोल्ट रेंज with what in series? 200 किलो ओम इन सीरीज। ओके, फिर से वही आर एस, वोल्ट वोल्ट मीटर है, तो V बाई आई जी माइनस आर जी, दैट इज 10 ना, हाँ 10 ओवर 50 इंटू 10 रेज टू माइनस 6 माइनस 100। ये माइनस 100 तो बहुत बार निगलेक्ट ही हो जाना है, ये इसको मैं ऊपर लेता हूं तो दिस बिकम्स 100 इंटू 10 रेज टू 5 ओवर 50, करीबन करीबन ही रखते हैं। सो दिस इज 2 इंटू 10 रेज टू 5 ओम। दो यहां पे ले लो तो 200 किलो ओम रेजिस्टर इन सीरीज। क्या सही है अपना जवाब? 10 वोल्ट रेंज, यस। 200 किलो ओम, यस सर, दिस इज राइट। बट वैसे भले मोर देन वन ऑप्शन करेक्ट वाला फंडा नहीं है, पर फिर भी एज अ सेफ्टी प्रिकॉशन मैं सी और डी भी चेक कर ही लेता हूं। सी क्या है? 10 मिली एम्पियर रेंज with what in parallel? 1 ohm in parallel. ओके भाई, ये वो है, क्या बोलते हैं इसको, शंट वाला मामला है। तो S इज इक्वल टू आर जी आई जी ओवर आई माइनस आई जी। आर जी कितना था? 100 एंड आई जी 50 माइक्रो ओवर करंट कितना है? 10 मिली minus 50 micro. 50 micro will not make any difference, so you can ditch that. This would be 100 into 50, that would be 5 tau into 10 raised to minus 6 over 10 into 10 raised to minus 3. This would go, so this is 500 into 10 raised to minus 3. Oh, that is 0.5 ohm in parallel. क्या 1 ohm बोलता है? गलत है, सही है? गलत, गलत, ये ऑप्शन गलत है। एंड डी वाला क्या? 10 मिली एम्पियर रेंज। ओ वाओ, 10 मिली एम्प रेंज विथ 0.1 ओम इन पैरेलल। भाई अभी देखा कि आंसर तो 0.5 ओम है 10 मिली एम्प रेंज का, तो ये भी गलत है। तो हमारा एक ही ऑप्शन सही है, 10 वोल्ट रेंज विथ 200 किलो ओम इन सीरीज। दिस वाज राउंड 1 का 48। अब मैं राउंड 2 पे जा रहा हूं, आप लोग चलेंगे? आइए फिर। राउंड 2 का करने जा रहा हूं, आई थिंक नंबर 20, अच्छा नंबर, लेट्स सी। ओके, राउंड 2 का 20, व्हाट डज इट से? इट सेज there is an electron revolving around a proton in a circular path of diameter 0.1 नैनोमीटर। ओके, तो रेडियस कितना होगा तुम्हारे पाथ का? 0.1/2 इंटू 10⁻⁻⁹। अगर आपको 0.1/2 सही नहीं लग रहा है तो you might as well convert it. This would be 1 into 10⁻10 and 1/2 into 10⁻10, that's 0.5 into 10⁻10 or 5 into 10⁻11. I'm not very comfortable around point something something, so I tend to convert it like this. Produces a magnetic field of 14 Tesla at the proton. Find the angular speed of the electron. Okay, no problems. Let's see. But it is like this. एक इलेक्ट्रॉन गोल गोल घूम रहा है, ये प्रोटॉन है, and this is an electron, and it is moving in a circular orbit. Radius is r, speed is v. Now, whenever an electron revolves in a circular path, do you agree it gives rise to current? Current, I'm sure you know, I is E nu, and हमको ओमेगा के साथ कंसर्न है. Omega is 2 pi nu, तो nu is omega by 2 pi, first thing. And because current is being constituted, so this behaves as a current carrying coil. So this is a current carrying coil, which gives rise to a magnetic field, which produces a magnetic field. What is the magnetic field at the center of a current carrying coil? Moni by 2R. So B is Moni by 2R. Number of turns तो 1 ही है. Here N is 1 and current लगा देता हूँ. So B is mu naught I upon 2R into what is your E omega by 2 pi current. I think सब कुछ सही जा रहा है, तो मुझे लगता है ओमेगा को अलग कर देना चाहिए. ओमेगा 4 pi R into B over mu naught E. At value substitution का माहौल. Radius 5 into 10⁻11. Let's see how far it goes. And B 14 Tesla upon mu naught 4 pi into 10⁻7. Wow. Into 1.6 into 10⁻19. Let's first cut the obvious things. Okay. -7 minus 16 is -26, and -11 plus 26 is 15. So मेरा सबसे पहला आंसर आ गया 10 raised to 15, and 14 5s are 70 over 1.6. Okay, 1.6 को किस तरह मैं 5 into 14 बराबर ना, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Okay, 16 6s are 96, 16 5s are 80, 16 4s are 64. 4 point something, 4.5 के आसपास या something into 10 raised to 15. Is it working out? मेरे को 10 raised to a बाय ये 45 है मेरी जान. 1.6 है ना, 70 है. ओके, ओमेगा 4.5 into 10 raised to 16 रेडियन पर सेकेंड. सॉलिड आंसर आ चुका है. चेक इट अप. आगे बढ़ते हैं. राउंड 2 में आ गए ले हम, और कौन सा नंबर है अभी राउंड 2 का तपास करके उसको कटघरे में खड़ा करेंगे. देखेंगे क्या बोलता है. पहले वो सुनेंगे, उसकी बात, फिर अपनी बात बताएंगे उसको. पहले हमेशा उसकी बात सुनना. अभी 22, राउंड 2 का 22. ओके, क्या कहता है? Torque required to hold a small circular coil जिसका 10 turns है, coil का 10 turns है, and area 2 into 10⁻⁻4 meter square है. area and carrying a current of 0.5 ampere. Okay, इसका current है 0.5 ampere in the middle of a long solenoid. Oh, solenoid का 10 raised to 3 turns per meter, छोटा n मिल चुका है, and carrying 3 ampere current, इसको I dash कहते हैं. with its axis perpendicular to the axis of the solenoid is torque q चाहिए अपने को torque q with its axis perpendicular to the axis of the solenoid. Okay. Now सबसे पहली बात solenoid magnetic field कितना create करेगा? पहली बात mag field due to solenoid, everybody knows this. B म्यू नॉट छोटा एन आई, पर करंट को नाम दिया है आई डैश, तो ये रहा. एंड टॉर्क रिक्वायर्ड, अच्छा आई एम श्योर यू नो द सोलेनॉइड, दिस इज सोलेनॉइड, करंट कैरी कर रहा है और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इस डायरेक्शन में. एंड उन्होंने जो तुम्हारा कॉइल रखा है ना, इट इज परपेंडिकुलर टू द एक्सिस, परपेंडिकुलर टू द एक्सिस. ओके, अब ये परपेंडिकुलर टू द एक्सिस है, इसका एरिया वेक्टर किस तरफ होगा जी? वाह वाह वाह, तो ये बी बार, ये ए बार, एंगल कितना दोनों के बीच में? 90. वाह, सो हियर थीटा इज 90, पहली बात. एंड सो हमको टॉर्क चाहिए था, टॉर्क इज टाउ इज एम बी साइन थीटा, एंड एम इज व्हाट? निया, ये कॉइल का मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट है, मैं लिख दूं एम इज मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट ऑफ द कॉइल. सो and this is Nia. You want me to find Nia? M is equal to Nia. पर end में रख देंगे ना. So torque tau is BINA sin 90. Sin 90 is 1. What is B? Mu naught छोटा n I dash. And this is INA, Indian National Army. Okay. Mu naught value चाहिए ना. 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. N 10 raised to 3. I dash is 3 amp. Current I here is 0.5, number of turns is 10, and area 2 into 10 is 1/4. By 0.5 into 2 is 1, that gets out of the way. Minus 7 plus 3 minus 4, minus 4 minus 4 minus 8. And अब 3, ये 0.5 into 2 तो कट चुके हैं, खत्म हो चुका है ये. तो 3 into 4 is 12. 12 into 10 is 120. They want the answer in pi. तो 120 में से वो मैं एक जीरो यहाँ ले लूँ या दो ले लूँ, क्या चाहिए उनको? नहीं, एक ही जीरो यहाँ लेना. So torque tau is 12 pi और एक जीरो यहाँ कट जाने से 10 raised to minus 7 Newton meter, which is as right as it can get. इसके बाद मैं करने जा रहा हूँ number 64. Number 64 is a very lovely sum. तो नंबर 64 को हम ध्यान पे लेते हैं. कुछ एक ही सम्स बचे हैं, सो बेयर विथ मी, 5-1 मिनट में खत्म हो जाएगा. नंबर 64 ऑल्सो इजी. सर आप तो हर चीज को इजी बोलते हो, भाई समझ में आ जाए तो हर चीज इजी है. A galvanometer of resistance 20 ohm, so Rg is 20 ohm, is shows deflection of 10 divisions. 10 divisions का deflection दिखाता है when current of 1 milliampere passes through it. Okay, पता नहीं कितने total division है. If a shunt of S is 4 ohm is connected and there are 50 divisions total, अच्छा, total, then what is the range of the gal? मतलब मुझे I find करना है. Okay, भाई सबसे पहले शंट का इक्वेशन बोला, शंट का इक्वेशन है सर S is RG IG over I minus IG, बरोबर. पर IG है तुम्हारे पास, उन्होंने IG करने का तरीका बताया. 10 डिवीजन में 1 एम्प मिली एम्प दे रहा है, तो 50 डिवीजन में कितना होगा? सो इन 10 डिविजन्स देयर इज 1 मिली एम्प. सो इन 50 डिविजन्स टोटल कितना होगा? ये होगा तुम्हारा IG. तो सीधा ही दिख रहा है IG is 5 into 1 over 10, which is 5 milliamp. IG मिल जाने से खुशी का माहौल है. Now S is RG IG over I minus IG. S कितना है? 4 ohm. RG 20, IG 5 milliamp over I minus IG. बाद में रखेंगे IG को क्योंकि मुझे सब्स्टिट्यूट करना है. तो I माइनस IG को ऊपर ले लेता हूं. is 20 into 5, that's 100. 100 by 4 is 25. सो दिस इज 25 into 10 raised to minus 3. अब मुझे IG की वैल्यू रखने की जरूरत है, कितना IG 5 मिली, एंड ये 5 मिली को ये मैं इस तरफ ले आ रहा हूं, सो I is 25 into 10 raised to minus 3 plus 5 into 10 raised to minus 3. ये 10 raised to minus 3 कॉमन हो जाएगा, 25 plus 5 is 30 into 10 raised to minus 3 ampere, and 10 raised to minus 3 is milli. So the current range I is 30 milliampere. So this is how number 64 is crumbling. And finally, the last numerical of the day, you can see of the chapter also. I am looking at what? I'm looking at what? What number am I looking at? This is number 26. Yeah, 26. Yeah. And it's got a diagram. And it's more than one option correct. So there is this. This is the y-axis. This is the x-axis. और पार्टिकल यहाँ से आ रहा है. This is point P. और यहाँ पे उसकी वेलोसिटी इस तरफ है v बार, एंड करके यहाँ आ रहा है, दिस इज q, और यहाँ उसकी वेलोसिटी ऐसी हो जाती है, बराबर, यहाँ उसकी वेलोसिटी है v, यहाँ उसकी वेलोसिटी है 2v, एंड दिस मच डिस्टेंस ये ओरिजिन है, दिस इज 2a, एंड दिस मच डिस्टेंस इज a. डायग्राम सही है, कुछ और बचा? यस, e बार. इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड यू कैन सी इज इन द x डायरेक्शन, एंड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड अंदर घुस रहा है. सो ये x है, ये y अंदर, मतलब z एक्सिस है. ओके, नाउ लेट्स चेक आउट द डेटा. बाकी कुछ बचा लिखने का? नहीं लिखने का. अ पार्टिकल ऑफ चार्ज q and mass m, okay, moves under the influence of uniform electric field E I cap. Okay, E bar is E I cap, and uniform magnetic field B bar B K cap. Okay, सही पहचाना हमने. B bar is B K cap. Follows a trajectory from P to Q. Okay, सही जा रहा है. I shown the velocities at P and Q are P bar, velocity at P, Vp bar कितना है? V I cap, x axis की ओर, and Q पे आके y axis में चला जाता है, minus 2v j cap. Velocity at Q is minus 2v j cap. बुक में शायद ये I cap लिखा हो, इसको चेंज करना पड़ेगा, there is a mistake there. So this is j cap. Which of the following statements is correct? Okay. पहला वाला इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड की वैल्यू चाहता है मुझसे. ओके ओके ओके, सबसे पहली बात, भाई ये P पे एंटर कर रहा है और Q पे से एग्जिट कर रहा है. ओके, तो सबसे पहले मैं जब ऑप्शंस देखता हूं तो पहले तो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड की वैल्यू मांगी है mv² के टर्म्स में, फिर रेट ऑफ वर्क डन बाय इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एट P मांगा है, रेट ऑफ वर्क डन बाय इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एट P मांगा है, रेट ऑफ वर्क डन बाय बोथ फील्ड्स एट Q मांगा है. ओके, रेट ऑफ वर्क डन मतलब वर्क अपॉन टाइम मतलब पावर मांगा है. ओके, इसको फिलहाल रहने देते. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सबसे पहले चेंज इन काइनेटिक एनर्जी कितनी हुई वो चेक करते हैं. चेंज, तभी वर्क डन के साथ इक्वेट करेंगे, वर्क एनर्जी थ्योरम बनाएंगे. चेंज इन काइनेटिक एनर्जी ऑफ द पार्टिकल इज, लेट्स कॉल इट डेल्टा के, which is kinetic energy at Q minus kinetic energy at P. Kinetic energy at Q half m. भाई कितनी स्पीड है Q पे? 2v. मैं ऊपर ले लूं और दूसरी पेन ले लूं. थैंक यू, थोड़ी फेंट हो गई थी. सो half m. What was the velocity at Q? 2v the whole square minus half m. What is the velocity at P? v का square. So this is half m, कॉमन निकल जाएगा, and 4v square minus v square, which is 3v square. So 3mv square by 2. This is my equation number 1. अच्छा, यहां से यहां तक आया, मुझे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का ही देखना फिलहाल, और किसी का नहीं देखना. So what is the work done by the electric field? Work done by electric field, I'm sure you know, work is F bar dot D bar. And what is force? Isn't it QE bar? Yes. And E bar के डायरेक्शन में कितना डिस्प्लेसमेंट हुआ? 2a. So मैं E bar के डायरेक्शन में डिस्प्लेसमेंट को 2a लिखता हूं, तभी मैं इसको उड़ा सकता हूं. Because if I would have written here E bar, then it would have become E I cap, and displacement would be 2a I cap, and I cap dot I cap is 1. तो ये लिख दिया आपके लिए. तो QE 2a and by the work energy theorem states that work done is equal to the change in kinetic energy. And what is the work done, G? QE2A. And what is the change in kinetic energy? 3/2 mv square. कुछ कटने वाला है? नहीं कटने वाला है. E को आइसोलेट करो तो E is 3/2 mv square by ये 2 है, 2 2s are 4 हो जाएगा यहाँ नीचे, एंड Q और A साथ में आया है. What is my option 1? मेरा पहला ऑप्शन इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का था. 3/4 mv square by QA. वाह, यहाँ पे शायद फर्स्ट ऑप्शन में mv क्यूब लिखा होगा, सो काइंडली चेंज दैट, या म्यू v स्क्वायर ऐसा कुछ लिखा होगा, तो mv स्क्वायर कर देना. पहला ऑप्शन में थोड़ा राइटिंग में अंदर ब्रैकेट में थोड़ा ट्रबल है, तो वो देख लेना. उन्होंने शायद थोड़ा बहुत प्रिंटिंग में मिस्टेक किया है. ये है फंडा. अच्छा, रेट ऑफ वर्क डन बाय इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एट P. ओके, रेट ऑफ वर्क डन चाहिए. रेट ऑफ वर्क डन मतलब पावर. रेट of work done is power, and power, I think everybody knows, is F bar dot V bar. Force into velocity, याद आई? अच्छा, F bar is what? QE bar, and P पे मांगा है at P into V bar. मैं इसको उड़ा देता हूं, मतलब ये मेरा ऑप्शन सही है, फर्स्ट ऑप्शन सही है. एंड में देखेंगे मोर देन वन ऑप्शन करेक्ट है तो कितने ऑप्शन करेक्ट मिल जाते हैं हमको. एट P उन्होंने शायद मुझसे, अच्छा एट P मांगा, दो ऑप्शन है मेरे पास. एट P वेलोसिटी कितना है? व्हाट इज वेलोसिटी एट P? V I कैप, राइट? V एट P इज V I कैप. तो पावर इज Q E bar dot VP bar. And what is QE bar? Isn't it QE I cap? And what is VP bar? V I cap. Okay, I cap dot I cap is 1. So QEV, उसको ये आंसर चाहिए नहीं, उनको इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड का वो चाहिए रखा हुआ. ओके, अभी थोड़ी देर पहले ही मिला था हमको. ये इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड कितना मिला था? 3/4 आई थिंक समथिंग mv square by QA if I remember correctly. Okay, Q cut. Very good. So, and V into V square is V cube. So, power which is work done upon time is 3/4 mv cube by A. Is this a valid option? 3/4 mv cube by A? Yes. भाई उन्होंने ऑप्शन बी में 3/4 mv square लिखा है, उसको V cube कीजिए. कभी कभी बड़े बड़े देशों में छोटी छोटी बातें होती हैं. So B ऑप्शन भी करेक्ट है. C ऑप्शन, रेट ऑफ वर्क डन बाय इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड एट P is 0. नहीं, हमने P पे तो देखा, so C गलत है. C गलत. And rate of work done by both fields at Q. Okay, at Q करना है नंबर 4. at point Q. भाई what is VQ bar? भाई what is VQ bar? minus 2VJ क्या? So power due to electric field पकड़ते हैं. Power P is due to electric field is FE bar, दोनों फील्ड की बात हो रही है इसलिए, dot V bar. FE bar is QE bar into VQ bar. E bar कितना है? EI cap. and VQ bar minus 2VJ cap. देखते ही अंदाजा आ गया, I cap dot J cap 0. तो rate of work done by electric field is 0. and magnetic field PM is FM bar dot V bar. FM bar is what? Q V bar cross V bar. थोड़ा सा शांति से करना पड़ेगा इसको. Q सबसे पहले VQ bar is what? minus 2VJ cap cross V bar BK cap dot minus 2VJ cap. I'm sure everybody knows the circle of life. I cap, J cap, K cap, and the wheel goes like this. The wheels on the bus go round and round. J cap cross K cap is I cap, but क्योंकि माइनस है तो माइनस I cap. तो Q into minus 2VB I cap into dot minus 2V J cap. Oh भाई, डॉट है ये, I cap dot J cap 0. So मेरा जो फोर्थ ऑप्शन है कि the rate of work done, that is power due to both fields at Q is 0. power due to electric field is 0, power due to magnetic field is 0. So this option is also correct. So my three options have been correct. A wala correct tha, B wala correct hai, D wala correct hai. So this was how the entire thing moved. And यहाँ पे अपना काम खत्म होता है, मैग्नेटिक इफेक्ट्स खत्म हो रहा है. थोड़े दिन बाद चैप्टर 5 मैग्नेटिज्म एंड मैटर का फर्स्ट वीडियो आएगा. मैं इसके साथ होमवर्क लिख रहा हूँ. प्लीज डू दैट होमवर्क. First of all, solve the sums that we have done here, and then proceed to do the homework. They will be on the same idea. So see you next time. Take care. Bye.